Hi, I'm Nick Compass, Director of Instruction at Santa Ana Country Club. I want to show you two ways that I think can help you get your grip on there better, especially with your glove hand and making sure the grip's in the fingers and not in the palm, which is what I see a lot of players struggle with. So again, one of the things we want to have with our glove hand, hey, we're trying to get that club at the base of our fingers so that that heel pad can fit on top of the club. That allows me to hinge my wrist correctly and keep that club securely in my fingers, okay, and not move around in there. So one of the things that happens a lot of times when we approach a golf ball, a lot of people will kind of put the club down first, and then when they do that, you'll see how they'll tend to kind of work that glove hand more under. So now I've got it, not just, we can kind of see my fingernails here, it's in a very weak or slice position, and then that heel pad's kind of running down that lifeline and that heel pad's not on top. So the first thing I like to do is, instead of putting it down on the ground, which already makes my forearm and club kind of parallel to each other, I'm going to hold the club up vertical like this, okay? So the club's vertical in front of me, and now I'm going to be able to take my hand from the side here, and it's really easy for me to get it at the base of the fingers there, and then to get that heel pad on top. And when I do that, you can see how different this looks, where we can see two knuckles, okay? And I can hinge this club up, and I've got it very secure right there, okay? So again, if I hold it vertical here, and then I go ahead and put that glove hand on, it's much easier because it's now perpendicular, which makes it fit into those fingers a little bit easier, versus when it's parallel, kind of running down that lifeline there. So again, for our full swing, hey, we're trying to get in the fingers and right there, okay? And then I would bring my opposite hand on there, my non-glove hand, and I can get my grip on there, okay? And from there, I can check the club face. So I'm gonna put a video up here of Scotty Scheffler. You'll see him kind of hold the club up here first. He's checking his grip and he's checking the club face. And when I look at the club face for an iron, I'm looking at that bottom edge to make sure it's straight up and down versus it being closed or open, okay? Now the second one is one that Adam Scott does before every single shot. So again, when I put this club out in front, tendency is for people to reach this way. So what Adam Scott does is he kind of puts the club to his side here, and now because it's kind of like at his side or almost a little bit behind him, you see how my hand has to kind of reach for it here, and when it reaches for it there, it's going to tend to get more in the fingers. And those knuckles or that back of the hand are a little bit more on top versus being more on the palm right there, okay? So again, if I kind of put it to the side here, I'll do it this way first. If I kind of have it at the back here, you can see how it gets a little bit more into the fingers, and I've got that same good grip with those two knuckles, okay? So again, he's here. You'll see him, I'll put a video up of it. You'll see him have it kind of to the side there and even back a little bit, and then he gets that hand on, and then he brings it over to the front and checks that club face, okay? So that's two ways to kind of, instead of you holding it in front here and trying to maneuver and twist this around, that I think are much easier ways to get that left hand on there, that glove hand, get that glove hand on there better versus you trying to twist it around right there. What's so important about that glove hand is, hey, if I don't get that, see those one or two knuckles, it's going to be hard for me to square the face up. We're going to tend to slice the golf ball. And if I don't have that heel pad on top, it's going to tend to move around, which is going to give us some poor hits and just going to be really hard for us to control that club. So again, those two ways, and you can kind of play with either of them and see which one you like better. But again, if I hold this club more perpendicular here to the ground, okay? So then when I'm going here, hey, it's perpendicular to my glove hand here. How easy it is for me to get it in my fingers and that heel pad on top, and how much better that grip looks there versus this. And the second way, that Adam Scott way, where he puts it to the side and a little bit behind, and it's much easier since I'm kind of reaching for it back here for me to get it in those fingers and then bring it in front, and how much better I get that hand on. So if you're kind of struggling with your grip or you're not sure, hey, is it correct? Those are two easy ways for us to kind of get it into our routine and getting it better. And like I said, Adam Scott uses one, Scotty Scheffler kind of uses the other, of kind of holding that club out in front there. But again, either one of those, hey, that lead hand, that glove hand is going to be on there much better, and we're going to have much more control of the club face and hit better shots.